When does control become our coping mechanism? Yes, I'm talking about the need for control. Welcome to Copy and Conversation with me here, Meera. And today I'm going to be talking on Shakuni. Yes, one of my favorite character. This is part of 21 Days, 21 Stories from Mahabharata for this podcast. Today I would like you to think about something very ordinary. Have you ever rearranged your table when your mind felt messy? Or folded clothes that didn't really need folding? Perhaps you refreshed your email one more time, checked your phone, made another list, or planned for tomorrow, despite you know that there is a plan already in place. None of those things are wrong. Sometimes they even help. But have you noticed something else? When life feels uncertain, we often begin controlling things we can reach. Not because they matter the most, but because they are available. Today, let's talk about control. Not the control we have over others, the control we quietly seek when life feels unpredictable. Yes. When people hear the name Shakuni, they often think of clever plans, strategy, the game of dice, manipulation, example of narcissistic behavior, self-centered, someone who controlled, someone who um, held the Kauravas just like a puppeteer. I mean, for manipulating over here. But today, I don't want to begin exactly over there. I want to begin much earlier. Imagine watching the course of your life being decided by someone else's choices, carrying memories you never asked for, or feeling that, powerless. Powerlessness leaves a strong mark. Sometimes it makes us surrender, sometimes it makes us promise ourselves. This will never happen again. Yes, we keep telling that, right? And from that moment, control slowly begins to feel like a safety. Control doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks responsible, checking whether the door is locked again and again and again, calling someone to ask where they are, not once, three times, four times, several times. Planning every detail before beginning. We are supposed to, but this is something different. Feeling uncomfortable or carrying the discomfort when things don't go as expected, waiting answers immediately, reacting. I just like things organized. You would like to say that. Perhaps that's true. Order has become the place where we feel safe. Imagine trying to control the weather. You cannot, so instead, you carry an umbrella. The umbrella isn't the control, but it's just a preparation. But what if one day you begin believing the umbrella controls the rain? Henna? That is where the story changes. Sometimes we confuse our preparation with control. One helps us live, the other will exhaust us. Looking at Shakuni differently, let us. Shakuni wasn't simply interested in winning, he wanted certainty. Every move on the board gave him something life had taken away. Predictability, you can call that as, yes. The dice rolled, the pieces actually moved. The next step could be planned. A game follows rules, life often doesn't. Maybe that is why some people begin treating life like a game they must control, not just theirs but others also. Because they enjoy controlling. Uncertainty frightens them. Once you have allowed them to control, twice you have allowed them to control, third time they wouldn't care. They know, yes, you are mine and you are going to be controlled by me. How comfortable, have you noticed how uncomfortable, waiting can be? Waiting for the results, waiting for someone to reply, waiting outside an operation theater, for waiting for a decision, for waiting for news, or waiting for the update. We don't merely like, or rather, what is that? We dislike waiting, right? We would dislike not knowing things. We begin imagining, predicting, planning conversations that actually wouldn't have happened. Also, preparing for outcomes that may never arrive. But sometimes the mind would rather carry that worry um, than the uncertainty, because worry feels like doing something. Imagine holding a kite. The string gives direction, but if you pull too tight, the kite cannot dance with the wind. Relationships are sometimes just like that, parenting or friendships or teaching, leadership, even love. Guidance is different from control. One helps another person grow, the other quietly asks them to stop being themselves. What are we really holding on to is the question. I sometimes ask myself this. When I insist that everything must happen my way, am I protecting the situation or am I protecting myself from uncertainty? Those are very different questions. Because sometimes what we call control is actually fear wearing a responsible face. Yes, it's fear wearing responsible face, is my thought. Someone else would have spoken also about that. A different kind of strength. Perhaps strength isn't found in controlling things or controlling everything. Strength is found in staying steady, even when everything cannot be controlled. The sea doesn't stop producing waves. The sailor doesn't command the ocean. They learn how to travel, how to maneuver, how to predict, right? Rather, how to do what? Life may be asking us for the same wisdom. Not complete control, but steady hands are different. Before we end today, I would like to leave you with three questions. What in your life are you trying hardest to control? What uncertainty sits beneath that need? And if you loosen your grip just a little, what might become possible? Perhaps Shakuni's story isn't only about strategy, it's also about what happens when control quietly becomes the place where we hide from that uncertainty. Shakuni as a character, we know how he controlled the Kauravas, how he controlled Duryodhana, and how he got his way for quite a few things. Might be he was just goal oriented, but not in a right way. It was he was a master strategist, with regards to manipulation. But today, the same thing is taking the phase of this word called control. How are we using it? I will meet with another familiar character. Yes, it is Dhritarashtra next. A king remembered for his love, but beneath that love lies another question. What truths do we refuse to see? Until then, notice the moments when you tighten your grip and ask yourself gently, am I trying to control life or am I simply trying to feel safe by being controlled or by controlling? Sometimes the answer changes everything. We'll catch up with you in yet another title in the series 21 Days, 21 Stories from Mahabharata on Copy and Conversation with me, Meera. Thank you for stopping by, listening, and sharing your thoughts and experiences. It really means a lot. Thanks again.